Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Belligerent Chef here, back with a brand new video. Today we're cooking a steak. I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and what better of a time than when I take a whole month off of making videos. So here it is. When you guys have a steak, do you eat steak because you want to taste meat, or do you want to taste different kinds of spices? You probably do because you want to taste meat, right? So instead of putting 30 million spices on the steak, just put salt and pepper. Alright, those will bring out the flavor of the steak, and that's all you've got to do. Now the amount of salt and pepper depends on the thickness of your steak. If your steak is super thick and you put on 1 grain of salt on the entire steak, it's not going to taste good because it's not salted, right? So you have to season it accordingly. Now since this steak is a little bit thicker, we're going to put on a lot of salt and a lot of pepper. It looks like a lot, but trust me, it's not. It's kind of sad that I have to say this, but make sure you do it on both sides. There's a crucial step that most people miss when they're cooking a steak. It's called resting a steak before cooking, or in other words, leaving a steak out on the counter for 30 minutes to an hour before you actually put it on the grill. You'll find out why this is important later. I like waiting about 30 minutes because waiting an hour is kind of torture. After about 20 minutes of letting the steak rest, that's when you go turn on your fire dungeon. After the last 10 of the 30 minutes is up, you take your steak to the fire dungeon. Just because you put the steak on doesn't mean you can come back 10 minutes from now and expect a perfectly cooked steak. There's still a lot of work that needs to be put in, and this is the most difficult part of this recipe. Well, the second most difficult part of this recipe. Whenever my dogs are bad, I like putting my spatula up to my face and pretending that they're in jail. You can also do this with a fork or a whisk. You can try it with a spoon, but for me it doesn't really work. Your results may vary. Anyways, after about 2 minutes, we're not going to flip our steak, but we're just going to reposition it to get the grill marks going the opposite direction. And then you're going to wait an additional 2 minutes to actually flip it. Alright, 2 minutes is up. Time for the big reveal of the other side of the steak. Oh my god, would you look at that? Grill marks! If your steak happens to catch on fire like mine did, you just move it over. After I moved it over, it still needed a little bit more time, so I left it there for just a little bit and came back with a plate. Okay, not gonna lie, this steak looks pretty freaking perfect. Besides the charring on the other side, but that's the fat, so it's gonna taste good. Now I mentioned the second hardest part of this recipe was cooking the steak. Now the first hardest part was actually letting the steak rest after you cook it. There's going to be aromas going on, you're going to want to eat it, but don't, okay? Just trust me, wait like 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, this will let the juices go back into the steak. It'll taste better, I promise. Just wait. After about 7 minutes, it's time to dig in. Now you may see that there's garlic bread on the side. That's going to be coming in a later recipe pretty soon, probably in the next 3-4 weeks. So stay tuned. It's pretty freaking good. There's plenty of different ways you can cook your steak, but there's definitely main ones. I made a steak chart that you guys can look at. I'll put it up right now. Make sure you guys find a style that you like and stick with that. But just know, if you like the first one or the last two, you are genuinely psychotic. But yeah, that's pretty much it guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a good night. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike and tell me why in the comments below. Next week I'm going to be making burritos. Next week is going to be kind of a breakfast burrito, and then the week after is going to be a different type of burrito. So stay tuned for that.
See you next time.